What's up, nerds? Welcome back to Real Reserve, where we talk about all things related to movies and physical media. I've been on a streak of boutique pickups here lately, and I think it's time I returned back to my roots of frugal movie hunting. And because of that, I've got some awesome pickups to show you that I found on the cheap, so let's get into it. First up on Blu-ray, we've got the incredible Burt Wonderstone. So this one stars Steve Carell, Steve Buscemi, Olivia Wilde, and the legendary Jim Carrey. This was a first time watch for me. I've seen a lot of clips of this movie on TikTok, and it definitely did not disappoint. I really enjoyed the spoof of Criss Angel that they did with Jim Carrey in this. It's absolutely ridiculous. There's also a cameo from David Copperfield, which I thought was pretty cool. Steve Carell plays Burt Wonderstone, an incredibly pretentious stage magician who falls from grace after a fallout with his partner, played by Steve Buscemi. And if you've seen this movie, you'll know there is a literal falling out. It ends up being a redemption story as Burt Wonderstone is forced to return back to his roots of magic in order to rediscover the passion that led him to the top in the first place. Overall, I really enjoyed this one. Pick this up if you're a fan of Steve Carell or if you want to see some ridiculous behavior once again from Jim Carrey. Next up, we've got one of my all-time favorite comedies starring Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly, and that is Step Brothers. In my opinion, this is a comedy classic at this point. I've seen this movie probably 50 times, if not more. This is an upgrade for me. I had this one on DVD, but I've been on the hunt for it on Blu-ray for some time. I saw it on Whatnot for $2, so I had to pick it up. Sorry to the guy who called this one out on Whatnot after me. You gotta be quicker than that. Next up on Blu-ray, starring Keanu Reeves, Constantine. I picked this up for $1 on Whatnot, and I've gotta say, this is the dirtiest artwork in a Blu-ray case I've ever seen. I don't know if you can see this, but there's literal dirt inside of the sleeve that the artwork sits in. I don't know how this guy was storing his movies, but man, you've got to do better than that. And the disc looks like a group of 6-year-olds took turns playing frisbee with it. Check this out. That thing looks like somebody's pre-adolescent children took turns throwing this bad boy across the yard. You know how when you go to GameStop and they won't give in on trying to sell you that warranty on your disc? It's for people that treat their discs like this. The back's got some scratches on it as well, but I'm not really worried about trying to get a refund on it because it was only $1. Regardless, this is a movie that I've wanted to watch several times throughout the years, but I could just never get into it enough to watch it all the way through. If this thing plays, I'm gonna give it a watch in the near future. Next up, I found this Blu-ray steelbook of War Dogs for $2. This is a standard Blu-ray, so not a 4K, but for $2 on a steelbook, it's coming with me. I haven't seen this one before, but like a lot of the movies that I show on the channel, I've seen a lot of clips of this on TikTok that were pretty interesting. I've also seen several clips of the guys that this movie is based off of talking about their experiences on several podcasts. It also still has the digital HD download code inside. I'm not sure if this is expired, but somebody give this a try and let me know if it works. And if that works, I'll take your subscription as payment. Next up on Blu-ray, we've got Norbit. You want to see a bitch go down a slide? This is going to be another upgrade for me, as I currently only have it on DVD. I've seen a lot of people online smack talk this movie and say that it's not very good, but in my opinion, you are out of your mind. This is one of my favorite movies starring Eddie Murphy, and it really illustrates his range as an actor. He plays almost every main character in this movie. If you haven't seen Norbit for some reason, check it out and you'll be glad you did. Oh, and if you're a Norbit hater, put that down in the comments below. We've got Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby. This is technically the first Blu-ray that I've ever owned because it was actually bundled with the PlayStation 3 at launch. At the time, I thought Blu-ray was just some gimmick because I was a little kid, and it wasn't until years later that I realized that Blu-ray actually took off, and here we are today. I actually didn't have this one in my collection, so I'm glad I was able to find it on the cheap. Next up, we've got the Michael Keaton classic, Beetlejuice. Beetlegeist, Beetlegoose, Beetlegeese. I'm pretty sure everyone watching this video has seen Beetlejuice at least once, so I won't bore you to death with the details of the plot. This is another upgrade for me from DVD. I was surprised to find this one for $1 on a stacking show on Whatnot. There was actually someone else that called this one right after me in the Whatnot show, but again, you gotta be quicker than that. What's funny is that I actually got Beetlejuice 2 on Blu-ray before this one, but that rounds out Beetlejuice 1 and 2 on Blu-ray. Happy to have both of these in the collection. Next up, we've got National Lampoon's European Vacation. I actually picked this up at a pawn shop about 15 minutes away, one that I don't normally stop in, but I decided to on this occasion. Found this one for $1. I'm not the biggest fan of the National Lampoon's family vacation movies, but for $1, I'll add this one into the collection in order to continue working towards having all of them. Next up, we've got The Rocker, starring Rainn Wilson. I haven't seen this one before, but I am a fan of Rainn Wilson. So far, I've liked pretty much every movie that I've seen him in, so I'm excited to check this one out. Next up on DVD, we've got Hellraiser Bloodlines. I found this one in the same pawn shop that I mentioned just a bit ago, and I actually haven't seen this one before. I'm a big fan of the performances from Doug Bradley in the Hellraiser movies, and I'm sure this is going to be no exception. I'm going to be watching this one in the near future, and who knows, it could be tonight. Next up on DVD from 1990, we've got Darkman, starring Liam Neeson. I haven't seen this one before, but the artwork caught my attention. After looking it up, it appears to be a horror action movie, and we're going to check it out. Next up, we've got Death Wish 1 through 4, starring Charles Bronson. I've actually got the 4K release from Kino of Death Wish 1, but I was missing 2 through 4. I actually got caught slipping on these, and my girlfriend found them, so shout out to Catherine. Death Wish 2 is my favorite in the series, and it's one that I watched a lot on TV and on VHS as a kid. I don't know what it is, but I'm a sucker for these old action movies with large pistols and people getting blown off their feet whenever they get shot. I'm excited to have all of these in the collection, and overall, I think this was the best find of that day. Next up on DVD, we've got Punisher Warzone. I'm gonna level with you here and be honest, I'm pretty partial towards Tom Jane's version from 2004. I saw this movie in the theater and I absolutely loved it, but for $1, I'm definitely willing to give this one a try. Next up, we've got one of my favorite movies in the Paranormal Activity franchise, and that is Paranormal Activity: Next of Kin. This is one of those movies that I've been asking about in various Whatnot Lives for the past couple of months, and I just haven't been able to find it. Obviously, I ended up being able to find it at a good deal. I think I got this for $5 or $6, and I was so excited to watch it again that I watched it the day that it came in the mail. I say that Next of Kin is one of my favorites in the Paranormal Activity series because I feel like this one really broke the mold and stepped out from the trend of monotony that we were starting to see with the other movies. I really like the concept of this one because you have a girl who's from an Amish family that she's never met. She returns to their community in order to meet her long-lost mother and make a documentary about their way of life. Shortly after arriving, she realizes that her family may not truly be Amish and something more sinister could be at play. Overall, I really like this one, and if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. To round out the video, I've got a stack of Blockbuster DVDs that I found at my local Goodwill. Like a lot of other people, I'm an absolute sucker for these Blockbuster cases because they're really nice cases and they bring back so many memories of going into video rental stores. First up, in the fancy Blockbuster case, we've got The Happening. I haven't seen this one in a long time, but I remember it scaring the absolute hell out of me when it first came out. This came out in 2008, so I would have been 13 whenever this hit theaters. I don't remember very much about the plot of this movie or what happens in it, but I'm excited to go back and see if it freaks me out anywhere near as bad as it did all those years ago. Next up, we've got Hitman from 2007. I don't think this one got very good reviews whenever it came out, but as a fan of the Hitman games, I really enjoyed it. I know there are several movies that came out based off of this character, but in my opinion, this one's the best. If you like this one, put that down in the comments below. If you thought it sucked, feel free to say that too. Keeping with the trend of movies based off of video games, we've got Max Payne starring Mark Wahlberg. I haven't seen this one before, but based off of the artwork and the synopsis on the back, I think it's going to be right up my alley. I'm not really the biggest Mark Wahlberg fan, but I'm willing to give him a chance on this one. Next up, we've got Crank starring Jason Statham. This one really takes me back to that awesome stretch of action movies that Jason Statham had in the mid-2000s. Back whenever he was top dog and the man to beat in terms of action movies. I actually already had this one on DVD in widescreen format. Like I said, I had to have it for the Blockbuster case. Next up, we've got Devil from 2010. Like some of the other movies in this video, I saw this one in theaters whenever it first came out. Because of my age, it gave me a pretty good scare. I watched this one again last night to see how it held up, and in my opinion, it holds up pretty well. You've got a group of people who are trapped in an elevator together when one by one, people start getting killed. The plot escalates heavily as one of them is believed to be the devil. As someone who rides an elevator every day at work, this one hits a little bit different. If you haven't seen this one before, I recommend checking it out. It's definitely worth a watch. And last up, we've got 1408 starring John Cusack and Samuel L. Jackson. This one is based off of the short story written by Stephen King, and I think it's a really good adaptation of his work. We have an author whose career is based almost exclusively off of visiting and reviewing haunted places. After checking into room 1408, he's cast into a roller coaster ride of odd happenings and paranormal encounters. Overall, I think this one packs a good scare, and I'm excited to have it in the collection. I know I say this every time, but that was a lot of movies to go through. If you made it to this point in the video, thanks so much for watching. Do all the things, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.